over the summer is back and healthy. There's Kelly Ray Finley. First year full-time as the interim head coach, replacing Cam Neubauer. And Brittany, she's very excited about this team. This is the deepest team they've had in quite some time.
This is a deep team, and this is a team that is filled with guards in the backcourt that can really be dynamic for them. They can get after it defensively, and they can really push the ball in transition on offense.
So Merritt and Merrill on the tip-in. We are underway. Georgia State is in the all-black tonight, and an opening turnover from Taylor Henderson. The Gators will have it. Just a few seconds into this one, and Kelly Ray Finley talking to her earlier today. The key for her is they want to get out and they want to run. They want to utilize transition. And there you take a look at the starting five. Zippy Broughton, new addition to this team in the starting five, as Jordan Merritt misfires from deep. And Brittany, this is the same starting five we saw on Friday in an exhibition against Flagler.
And I think they're comfortable with that starting five. They liked what they got with it early on. They got out of the gates early, got some easy offense, and I think they're going to stick with it early in this game.
Finish inside for Ashley Foster. The Western Carolina transfers, you take a look at their starting five. They have 3 Power 5 transfers on this team, a total of 7 transfers for Gene Hill on this group. Finished second in the Eastern Division in the Sun Belt last season. Merritt swims through, got it ripped away by Merrill, the Kentucky transfer. They feel that she's back to what they thought she would be in high school, was a top recruit, went to Kentucky to start her collegiate career.
And you talk about Georgia State and the transfers that they have right now. They've got some SEC background in their transfer pool, so they know what it takes to play against this SEC team in Florida.
Foster chased off the line, had the opening bucket, and has the second bucket of the night, and a 4-0 start for the Panthers. So opening 90 seconds, Georgia State has come to play, Brittany. They lost by 15 points in their final exhibition to a Division II North Georgia team, albeit a very good Division II team. Broughton shot deflected away and swatted away by Worth.
And Kyle, I think when that happens in your exhibition game, you're coming out to prove something, especially when you're coming in to a Power 5 team like Florida. You want to say, hey, that was a fluke that we lost by 15. We have something to prove here. And early on, Georgia State is turning Florida over. It's
been the Ashley Foster show, making that play defensively in transition. And now Georgia State will settle in the half court. Last year, we're third in the Sun Belt in points per game, about 67 a game. Henderson can't finish underneath amidst the tall bodies. Gators have the clear size advantage tonight. Merritt, open look.
Florida right now struggling offensively, getting one and done, no second chance opportunities. In the exhibition game, they were able to hit the boards offensively a little bit harder. That got them those second and third chance looks.
Gators empty possessions to start. All 4 points from Ashley Foster. Here's Worth. Rebound Broughton. Smith, the leader of this team, drives in. Broughton, corner pop. Gators still can't find their opening points as Merritt does claim it, lost it out of play, and will go to Georgia State. Georgia State last year earned the second seed in the conference tournament, Brittany. They got hot late. They won the final 3 games of the regular season, earned them the second seed in the Eastern Division. The Sun Belt is cut between the East and the West.
Yeah, it is, and they had to fight against a really good team in Troy in the Sun Belt, but they also lost their leading scorer, and I think it's going to be interesting to see who steps up for them for this Georgia State team. They lost a player who averaged about 12.5 points per game, pulled in almost 9 rebounds per game, so that's a gap that you're going to have to fill, and I think they're seeing who is going to step up. I know Coach Hill talked about it with us a little bit yesterday. We're excited to see who's going to step into that role.
Georgia State one and done, long lead in transition, leaks towards Ricards, and thought about throwing it off of Henderson. We'll say she was out. Gators a slow start.
Lots of turnovers, Kyle, early in this game. 4 turnovers.
Gators last year were lower third in the SEC in turnover margin. They only averaged about 14.5 turnovers per game. That was good for 6th in the SEC. Here's Bell, the high post just got trucked, and an easy call for the baseline official.
Georgia State trying to get the ball into that high post area. They want to pass it in and move off of that. You can see an immediate move to go to the basket. They're looking for a right or a left drive off of that high post entry at the top of the key. The post player is allowed to drive if they have it. They don't have it because the way Florida's playing defensively, they're looking for that drive. Again, inside out is a way Georgia State really likes to play.
Alexis Bell, we'll call her for a travel. Trying to urge that she was pushed. Alexis Bell, a JUCO transfer, went to Southern Union State Community College out of the state of Alabama. But you look at Gene Hill's roster in his 4th season. They have a lot of players from the state of Georgia that went somewhere else and transferred back to Georgia State.
There's something about coming back to your home state, and he's pulled in a lot of great transfers
as
this
Briggs
past season.
Knocks down the tray, and the Gators have their opening points.
And Kyle, boy, did Florida need that. They just needed that off their shoulders to get the first bucket of the season, top of the key, and who's it from? Lavender Briggs.
Briggs struggled with efficiency last year, did shoot at 32% from deep. Henderson the leap and lean for 2.
And talking about Lavender Briggs, I think that's something that she wanted to work on. She wanted to work on being more consistent from the three-point line.
Ricard's got bumped. Let's go back to that previous make from Lavender Briggs.
And that's just off the dribble. There's a high on-ball screen that's coming. They step underneath the screen, and Lavender Briggs is going to take that shot more time than she's not going to because she has that look from outside, and again, it's something that she's worked on.
Briggs still not 100%. See the tape on that left ankle. Faye Dute just standing tall, able to finish.
Through the double team, Georgia State sends a double team. They play her from behind, but send an opposite side post to kind of sandwich her in. She keeps the ball high. That's key for Florida, and especially for Faith Dute, to not get a turnover by keeping the ball high.
Meanwhile, Alberta Rimdahl is on the floor. She had an outstanding debut.
Yes, she did.
In the exhibition, 19 points on 4 of 6 from deep. And an offensive foul is called on Georgia State and a turnover.
And Rimdahl is someone for Florida who can step on the court and make an immediate impact. The way that she plays, you saw it in the exhibition game. If you were fortunate enough to see her play, she's a special player. She can light it up from outside. She plays with a lot of confidence. She shoots the ball extremely well from the three-point line, but she's not limited to that. She doesn't just settle for the three. She will take the ball in on a drive, and she's a phenomenal passer, Kyle.
Dute, the long range 2 is true. How about the start for number 25?
She says, I can.
Hopping back in front, Brittany 7 assists.
I was going to say, Faith Dute's saying, hey, I can play inside, and I've also worked on my outside jumper to knock it down.
We saw her at times even step beyond the arc. That was the biggest point of emphasis for her, was being able to become a little bit more versatile in what she does offensively. As Ricards picks the pocket, coast to coast, Ricards can't finish, but Worth will be whistled for the foul. And that'll bring us to a official break in the action. Gators a 1-point lead and a good start for Faith Dute. 2 for 2 from the floor. And the oldest roster that he's had returns 4 of his top 5 scorers. 4 players that come back that started at least 15 games and a total of 10 returners. So this is a team that made a late charge in the season last year. They feel like they are due to make another run here in the Sun Belt. As Ricard splits a pair. Georgia State last year, 2 games over 500. They went 9-7 in the Sun Belt. Gators trying to improve on what was just a 12-14 campaign and 3-11 in the SEC. Slicing through is Foster at the first 2 buckets for the Panthers, gets whacked hard.
You can see Georgia State very aggressive offensively. They're looking to attack Florida where they can, and that's on the drive or in the post. Early in the game, they went inside. They like to go inside out, but not just from the post position. They'll do it from the guard position as well.
Foster, the transfer from Western Carolina. Last year was her first year as a full-time starter in college hoops. She averaged about 6 a game at Western Carolina, and this is her 3rd year within the Georgia State program. Another one of those players coming back to her home state from McDonough, Georgia.
And she's a player in Foster she's a very quick guard. She prefers to drive with her left hand, but she can get there with her right. and she's a really active defender as well.
Well, Briggs can drive with both hands and hits the free throw line jumper. So Briggs with 5, Gators back in front, and that is Briggs' range, that 15-foot area. That's where she feels most comfortable coming off a campaign averaging 19.5 a game.
And so smooth when she comes off that dribble. It's a one dribble pull up a lot of times, 1-2 dribble right around that free throw line area. It's butter for her.
Mariah Taylor can't connect from deep. Muscling underneath for the basket, Alyssa Phillip. Born in Plainfield, New Jersey, also a Georgia native from Norcross. Georgia's sticking around early. Ricard's lost the dribble, scooped up by Taylor. The lead ahead. Foster tiptoeing the baseline.
See Georgia State really active, trying to get the ball inside. They do. Florida collapses on them. Got to be ready for that kick out. Florida's there, but they're a little bit late, and you could see the foul being called on the late rotation over.
Biggest thing the Gators worked on in the offseason was defense. Kelly Ray Finley continued to say defense, defense, defense.
And in that last possession, it was a great look from above. You could see Georgia State really working to get the ball inside. When it got inside, there were 3 people that kind of converged on her inside. Three orange jerseys. They were a soft hedge in, but the transfer out on the rotation of the skip pass, you've got to slow it down a little bit. That's why Nina got caught with a foul.
Well, it's been the Foster show to start. They're a wild shot. Rimdahl claims it, the native of Denmark. Smith, this is what she does, push the pace and a travel. Sometimes too fast for your own good. How about the warrior mentality, Brittany, of Kiki Smith last year? I can think back to a couple of games, dropping 36 against Kentucky in the SEC tournament, 34 against Missouri. Both games without Lavender Briggs, so they were even keying on her more in those games.
And that just shows you the mentality that she's able to play with. She can lock in and say, hey, I'll do whatever my team needs me to do. And last season, that was put up 37, put up 40 points, and it was a very unselfish 37. Because she was still passing the ball. She was rebounding the basketball. She was getting to the rim and trying to get her teammates open. And she just has a mentality that says, hey, I'm going to do whatever I can to not allow my team to lose.
Leah Weiss grabs the rebound and the Gators reset. A couple of opportunities from deep. One of those from Alberta Rimdahl, who we mentioned is just an absolute assassin from beyond the arc. Post touch, Merritt just fell down and lost it. Not sure if she tripped over a Panther or her own feet. 7th Gator turnover to start.
That's something that coach is not going to be happy to see in the score column, or not in the score column, in the stats column. Turnovers is not something you want, and here's another one in transition, 8, and we're still in the first quarter. Florida's got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball, whether that be in transition or in the half court. Value every possession.
I know as a player you get the opportunity to play exhibitions that mimic game situations, but do you sense the players have a little bit of butterflies on opening night? Did you as a player?
Absolutely. You still have a little bit of butterflies because it's it's the one that really starts it off. And, you get to get one out of the way, the kind of dress rehearsal. It's almost like a dress rehearsal if you're an actor or something like that. But when the lights really come on and it's the start of the season, you got a little bit of butterflies. But you're a quarter in. It's time to just calm down and go play basketball if you're Florida. It's a 10-10 game with 1:42 left in the first. Florida, I think, most importantly, just has to take care of the basketball.
There's Manu de Oliveira, who we finally,
that was nice. That was smooth.
After many years of thinking Manu pronounced her name a certain way, I believe we finally got it right after getting the chance to have Manu recorded again. So de Oliveira, got to roll the R's.
You rolled the R's real well. I might just stay with Manu for 3 or Manu on the drive.
Well,
and
Manu travels.
Turnover.
But how about her story, Brittany? Stuck in her home country of Brazil, did not get a chance to play with the team last year. Multiple visa appointments canceled to get back in the United States during the pandemic. As you can imagine, it was very hard for her to be able to get back in the country. Did not come back until June of this year.
And you talk about being mentally strong. That takes you've got to be real strong to stay that far away from your team and still stay disciplined enough to get in the gym, to stay in tune with what's going on. They would FaceTime her. They would bring her in. They had a big cardboard cutout of her that would sit on the baseline in a chair like she was there. They tried to involve her as much as she could, but you have got to stick with it. And props to Manu for sticking with it the way she did and the way that she has come back in shape, ready to play. She's starting here, and she really does it all. The way that she reads defenses, Kyle, I mean, it's just going to help Florida out so much this year.
Kelly said it. She's going to lead the team in charges. That is certain.
And when you lead a team in charges, you really can read defense.
Charges taken.
Yeah, charges taken. Exactly. Because you're able to see the play develop as it's coming to you. So if a drive is coming, you have to time when you're going to go help, because you can't just leave your person wide open on the backside. So you have to be able to time it well and almost think a play ahead, or a pass ahead, excuse me.
Meanwhile, Deasia Merrill completes the three-point play, the Kentucky transfer. 2 SEC transfers on Gene Hill's roster. Smith turns the corner. Difficult shot at the rim. Kiki Smith said in the opening presser that, yeah, I'm working on my right, but teams, they can't stop me going left, so I'm still going to go left.
It's almost like they don't read the scout on her that she's a left-handed player, and they've seen a lot of film, as you can see, her ability to just give and go off the top of the key, and she's just quick enough to go right by. The help side defense is late. You could argue for an and one, but Kiki's not going to argue for that. She's just going to get up and keep playing. But the left, as we all know, is just so smooth from her.
Over 20 points 11 times last year for number 1. As Taylor Henderson gets 2.
And we talked about how she had to take over last season. There were games where Lavender Briggs was out and she had to play the bulk of the minutes, the bulk of the possessions, the shots up. This year, I think she has a great supporting cast that's going to be able to step up and help her a lot offensively, so it's not always on her shoulders.
Final 35 seconds for the quarter, about an 11-second differential. They close out on Rimdahl. Broughton, the Rutgers transfer. Leans one inside. Weish can't handle. Smith, high arcer. Manu the rebound. Rimdahl.
She hit a couple there in the exhibition from the top of the key. That's a shot you want her to take every time. I really like the fight that Florida's kind of clicked over the last couple minutes of the quarter of rebounding the ball offensively. That's a mindset. You've got to look to attack, and Florida doing a better job of getting to the boards offensively.
See a 4-1 edge for Florida in offensive rebounds. Final 5 seconds for Georgia State. Merrill, long 2, untrue. Worth gets it off at the horn, can't knock it down. But how about the Panthers opening up their season on the road against a Power 5 opponent, have a 2-point lead over Kelly Ray Finley's Florida Gators. So through 1, it's a team from the Sun Belt with a 2-point lead here in Gainesville. Second quarter, that's next.
Florida in a battle with Georgia State as they're up by 2, but that's, you've got to take care of the basketball. You can't have 9 turnovers again in the second quarter.
Georgia State played 2 Power 5 teams last year. Georgia Tech and Georgia lost both. Smith slashing through amidst the bodies, just whirls off. That's that attack mindset.
That's a great attack by Kiki Smith. She sees the ability to get in. She sneaks right around, and Georgia State comes over. That's a big-time body foul. Coming over and knocking her down. Again, though, Kyle, the left hand. You'd think they might sit on her left hand and force her right. I mean, she can go to her right as well, but it's just right down. She slices right through the defense, and the help side over causes that foul.
It was that funny moment in the opening press conference where she said, again, if nobody's going to stop me going left, I'm going to still go left. And Kelly said, no, let's still work on your right hand.
Let's still work on the right hand. You want to have a right hand for sure, but if they're going to give you that left, go ahead and take it.
Georgia State a 1-point lead, just underway second quarter. The Israeli native Gitchenko. Merrill bullies in on Weish, the freshman. That's Leah Weish, one of 2 Weish twin sisters on this Florida roster this year, the freshman from American Heritage High School. Broughton, eyes and flies, well off the mark, maybe some jitters. First game as a Gator.
That's a little bit, and you can see Florida inside trying to get the ball, but Georgia State kind of has a spy. They're kind of coming over. When Florida's looking to get the ball inside, they're sending a little show help from a spy on the backside.
Unwatched inside, the lane rolls in for Nyla Jean, who has that cheering section across the way. One of 2 players, Brittany, from the state of Florida, who has had a lot of ticket requests.
We talked to Coach, and he said, she's asking how to get the tickets. She's really excited about coming back to her home state. She's going to have a lot of fans here supporting her and their team, and you heard them there on that possession.
Native of Tampa, Florida is Nyla Jean, right now running the point, number 13 in black. Merrill inside, Gators collapse, kick it out, Foster.
And this is where Florida wants to be strong, pushing the ball in transition. She had a kick out. Kiki could have kicked that out for a 3. She saw that she could get to the lane, get that foul call, and that's the Kiki system we saw last year. The ability, the down speed, the down court speed that she has, a change of direction, change of speed. She didn't have to change direction, she just changed her speed to get there.
And a big key tonight as we see wholesale substitutions for Florida, but Kelly had echoed, we need to run tonight, especially run the center of the floor, utilize the center of the floor, which we saw from Kiki.
And you want to run on this Georgia State team. You want to make them have to get back. And Florida is able to do that because they have depth. They have depth in the guard position, and they have depth now in the post position as well. So you can go in there and you can run hard for 3-4 minutes, knowing that if you need it, you can have a break and come back in. And again, Florida trying to develop that, hey, we're not losing anything when we go to the bench. Or we're going to come in and you're going to make an impact.
And how big was it for this Florida roster to get Kiki Smith back for a 5th year? She's been through so much in her career, a couple of knee injuries, and winding up at Florida and being such a big impact piece.
I mean, you're getting back someone who led her team in points, rebounds, and assists for the first time in UF history. And then there was the only player in the SEC who did that, and she averaged 18, almost 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game. I mean, there were times she'd get double-doubles in points and rebounds. When you're getting that from your point guard, you know, that's huge. And again, we talk about how they're trying to bring in keys that she won't have to do that every time this year.
Briggs with the swat. Rimdahl tries to track it down and can't.
And those are ones where you want to look up and you want to try to get it out there where Georgia State can't get it in transition and you can't set up on defense, but just passing it ahead too much.
You see Kiki Smith, first player in program history to lead the team in points, rebounds, assists, steals, and minutes. And most likely Lavender Briggs could have taken a few of those categories away had she remained healthy, but the production, once Briggs got hurt, continued to go up for Smith, although more high volume in shots, but more defensive attention as Briggs gets another swat. Briggs, the vision ahead, Ricards. Briggs, the sidestep, the floater, and one.
And one, and that's going to be because Georgia State inside, I believe, that charge circle also led with the chest. If you're going to stand in there and take a charge, you can't lead with your chest. So you're going to see here the drive and the block by Lavender Briggs. She passes ahead, gets it back, and then a strong take in, but clearly inside that charge circle and a possible 3-point play. Boy, did Florida need that energy play.
The energy and the screaming of and one from Lavender Briggs.
And then completing it.
Preseason first team in the SEC, and that's a tough list to crack. Lavender Briggs, after last year, when she did play, averaged 22 points in the SEC games that she played, over 10 games in the league.
Great hands by Rimdahl. That's something else she brings to this Florida team. She doesn't just bring offense, she brings defense as well. And her ability to on-ball defense, she can pick up the point guard 94 feet if need be and give Kiki a little bit of a breather. She doesn't have to play that defensive role all the way down the court as well.
And maybe a tad too aggressive from Rimdahl.
And I think they're going to call a body foul. She's questioning why. I had no hands, but I think they're going to say she kind of got a little bit too close with the body. You can see pressuring up, great ball. Gets a hand. I mean, I might be with it. The shock of surprise. But that's something you got to learn. You're coming in. You got to learn how refs are going to ref you here in America.
Rimdahl from Denmark played over 50 games with the national team in Denmark, so she's played a lot of high-quality players.
So she brings in leadership from that freshman. Even as a freshman, she brings in the mentality of having to play with older players, been in situations and in ways where she's had to step up and score or hit big shots already.
Gets the call to the bench. Gators going with more of a taller lineup. Jordan Merritt checks in. One-legged leaner, Kiki Smith plus the harm.
And you can see Kiki Smith saying, hey, we got to get a lead in this game. And if I have to step up and lead that way, that's what she's doing. She's coming in again, driving. And this time, hey, they took that left away, but she went back to the right. And she really is good with that floater, Kyle.
That's her patented shot.
Yeah, it is.
That floater in traffic. She loves to invite that contact, too, and that's what gets her to the line as much as she does. Had last year, Brittany, 138 free throw attempts.
And there's some players who like the contact. They play better with the contact. They can finish with the contact, and there's some that shy away from it. She's a player who she's not afraid of the contact. She'll take it in there, as we've seen on drives to the basket already, on that floater. She's going to almost draw the contact and then finish. But she's not upset that she doesn't get the foul, the and one. She's just looking to finish, and then steps in right on cue, gets a steal, and then a putback. This is exactly what Florida needed right now.
Defense into offense. It's Jordan Merritt who finishes underneath after the Smith steal, averaged over 2 a game. Gators going full backcourt pressure. And do the Georgia State Panthers have a response right now? I'm not sure.
We can see she jumps right in. Great read by Kiki, gets a hand in it, and then the eyes up, aware to get it to her post player who stays right there on the press. Now an underneath out of bounds for Florida.
The tenor of this game has changed near the midway mark. Merritt muscles one up and in. Another and one chance for the orange and blue, and this time it's the native of Plano, Texas.
And just like that, Florida really kind of putting it on Georgia State. I really like the fact that they're scoring underneath out of bounds. They're not looking to just get the ball in bounds. That's just a miscue by Georgia State right underneath the basket. Great screen to get her open, and another potential three-point play.
Merritt, also another player coming back from injury in her career, an ACL tear in her final year of her high school career, to play with that big lumbering knee brace last year in her first year. She's since vacated that, so maybe playing a little bit freer. Foster, kick out, corner three. Too strong from Tollivert. Kyla Tollivert, also a native of Florida, from Melbourne, Florida. Went into Coach Hill's office yesterday and asked how the whole ticket request thing works with her family coming to the game.
Trying to get her people here.
Smith, hand in the passing lane, goes seated on the scores table. Just a little extra for those in attendance.
Try to get the steal with style. If you couldn't get it, so you got to have the style.
If you saw how cool Kiki Smith looked just sliding on the top of the scores table, it was something.
Trying to get style points for the slide.
Only 5 to shoot for the Panthers. We've seen their deficit balloon to 8. Foster, step back beyond the arc. Still can't connect. It's been a cold stretch. Broughton, eyes up, breaks in stride. And the Gators now have a 10-point lead.
And just like that, Florida's turned it on, and they've turned just one three-point play into a major lead for them. Not a major, but they pulled it away to 10. And it was a close game, just 2-point game, 1-possession game, and they've really tried to stretch it out.
After what was somewhat of a head-scratching start for the orange and blue, they've settled into this game as Dublin's tied up. And they'll call a tie-up, alternating possession, stays with Georgia State. Janae Dublin was tied up, transfer from Iona. There's the energy from that bench, now led by Kelly Ray Finley. Every single player on that bench has echoed their excitement to play for Kelly this year.
And we've seen it. We saw it in the exhibition game. Every time, everybody coming in and out. Just a lot of energy and excitement for each other when each other are doing well.
Ricard's long lead ahead. Merritt was swatted by Michaela Tollivert. And again, the Gators getting their bigs to get out and run the floor as well.
And I think that's key for Florida this year. When you can get your bigs to go out and run, that forces opposing teams to get out as well. Look, just eyes up, transition, leave the middle of the floor for your bigs. That's what Florida does, but you have to know someone's trailing you. And so she comes in there, maybe go up a little bit stronger, but she gets that foul call.
Merritt last year, just a 54% foul shooter.
That's
Think
something.
about some games, Brittany, last year, especially in the SEC, that were left out there because of just that, missed free throws.
Absolutely, and that's something I think Florida's really looked at working on. How are we going to get mentally prepared for game time free throws? And I think that comes in, and that's just a lot of practice, muscle memory. Get there and get in the gym and practice those free throws, and Florida's tried to do that in the offseason.
Shot clock waning down to 3. Ricard slices through, and that'll go out. Officially a shot clock violation. Ball did not hit rim. 13-0 run for Florida over the last 3 and change. Next stoppage brings an official timeout. And we have that stoppage right on cue. It'll be Foster who'll head to the line for 2 shots when we return. Gators, their largest lead of the night on a 13-0 run. Big thanks to number 3, who does it all for the Gators. Gators a game best lead at 10, and Brittany Lavender-Briggs, outstanding start.
Yeah, and she's showing us that she can score in an array of ways. She has a pull-up 3, a drive to the mid-range pull-up, and then she says, hey, I can drive it all the way in with contact finish, and then also I get out in transition and can finish there as well. She has 10 points, 4 of 5 from the field, and she goes ahead and says, hey, I'm going to get 3 rebounds as well. But, you know, being consistent with the way that she's scoring right now, 4 of 5, and she's saying, hey, you can't just guard me one way because I can get to the rim in a multiple ways.
That's efficiency.
Yes,
10 points in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's what she's really been working on, because that's been the issue at times for her, right? Is she's a high-volume shooter, but sometimes the efficiency isn't there.
And I think we saw that 4 of 5 from the field, and timely. When she's shooting the shots, it doesn't have to be all at one time. But the team needed it, and there was a multitude of people who stepped in and said, hey, we're going to score. You had the post player scoring. You had Kiki Smith scoring. Jordan Merritt put some points in on that run. And so it wasn't just one person taking the bulk of the shots.
Briggs will run the point out of this timeout. Drives in again in her comfortable range.
And I think getting that first shot of the day, she got a 3, she saw it go in. When you can see that first one go through the net, it just changes, I think, the way and the style in which you play. And then Jordan Merritt's high steal at the high post, finishing strong, and you got your post players doing that, playing like guards on the perimeter, and then pushing the ball in transition and finishing.
Now 15 points off turnovers for the orange and blue, and Georgia State is scrambling right now to find offense, and they got it from Kyla Tolliver. Great player out of the state of Florida. Former Florida Dairy Farmers Player of the Year.
It's batted around. Last touch by Georgia State, so Florida's going to get it back. And that's just, the tipping the ball. Florida in there, she's tipping it around, gets it to go off Georgia State. So Florida has 20 here on the shot clock. Better to see the sideline set. We've seen a baseline set, seeing if they can score right out of a sideline set. Just settling to get it back in to then run a play.
Briggs, corner look. Near miss from number 3 tonight. Here's Henderson. Led the team in assists last year as the point guard. Wild look from Foster. Now Broughton, another long lead ahead, Merritt. Extra pass for Smith.
And Kyle, look how quick Florida got the ball up and out of the floor. They got the rebound off of a great defensive stop and pushed it right up. Already had her bigs and a guard pushing in transition.
But it's the thought to look up.
Yes, absolutely, right away. Right away. You get a defensive stop, and then Zippy has her eyes up, and it's just a quick out of the hands, giving it up, and then a touch pass in. Great ball movement by Florida and unselfish basketball. That touched 3 people's hands in 2-3 seconds. That's how you move the ball without taking a lot of dribbles.
Gators a big response in this second quarter. After being outscored 14-12 in the first, they've outscored Georgia State 20-6 in the second.
And I think the question is, you have 3:21 left. Can you continue that momentum going into half? Can you take what you've started right now, keep the gas pedal on, and carry that energy into halftime? And it looks like, got the foul calls, and say it looks like they're going to be able to do it, but getting the foul call, slowing down the game. But I like the active hands defensively by Florida right now. Not just staying back and allowing Georgia State to dictate to them how this game's going to be played. They're stepping up here in the second quarter and saying, hey, we're going to change the tides, and we're going to dictate to you how the flow of this game is going to go.
Jean steps inside the arc, a long 2. Broughton the rebound. Again, just eyes up for Merritt. Woo! Strides to the rim. Reversal effort is no good.
But what a great pass. When you have Zippy and Kiki Smith out there, and then you throw in Lavender Briggs as well, you've got point guards on the floor. You almost have 3, and then Zippy's going right in and getting a steal. but you have more point guards out there. We've seen it quick, just catching it, and it allows, especially Kiki, to get out in the lanes, out wide, leaving the middle for the post, but eyes up and getting it out. I mean, it's great ball movement right now.
Zippy Broughton was originally recruited by Florida. Her final 3 programs coming out of high school was Rutgers, Florida, and Kentucky. Decided to go to Rutgers, played 3 seasons there, was an impact player, a starter, a point guard there, and now comes here to Florida for her final year as a senior and a chance to play off the ball a little bit as a scorer.
But I mean, why Kyle? Why New Jersey over Florida?
Yeah, who would ever do that,
I mean,
right?
why? Yeah, you got the Sunshine State here, you got the snow up there.
I represent the great town of Pequannock, New Jersey. For those that don't know, it's the birthplace of Derek Jeter.
And I represent the Gainesville, Florida. So
yes,
hey,
you're Gainesville through and through. Brittany Davis, former Gator, had some great moments in a Gator uniform. Shot clock waning down and tipped out. Me, I had some great moments in Little League for Jerwood's Construction. That was the height of my athletic career.
Hit some home runs.
Here I am.
Did you ever have a double play? Make a double play?
I hit into him a couple times.
Oh, there you go.
Smith, the takeaway, lays it in as this game continues to slip away in this second quarter.
And something that's happened is a turn of the tides on turnovers. Florida has stopped turning the ball over. Only 2 turnovers in this quarter to the 9 that they had, now only with 11. And Georgia State now sitting with 12 because Florida's really turned up the defense. And you see playing the passing lane, getting tips, allowing you to set your defense back up. Now Georgia State has a sideline out of bounds, and Florida can set their defense.
And this is the thing Coach Hill had mentioned for Georgia State, as you see the takeaway from Kiki Smith. But
I mean, it was almost like a pass straight to her.
When they get behind in games, they don't quite know yet who's going to be their key scorer to get them out of a rut, as Kiki Smith, already in double figures, also efficient, 4 of 6 with 4 rebounds.
And we talked about the dynamic duo a little bit, touched upon it a little bit, but you can see Lavender Briggs has 12, Kiki Smith has 11. Lav shooting 5 of 7 from the field, and then Kiki 4 of 6, so both shooting in a high efficiency.
De Oliveira.
Now you're just going to try to say it as much as you can.
Ricard's open look, buries the 3.
And Ricard's a player for Florida last year that actually led them in percentages from the 3-point line. She was wise when she took them, and she's going to go ahead here now. And I think she's shown in the exhibition game, she hit one in there. I think shooting with more confidence from the 3-point line.
There's a clear lineup delineation of how this game has gone since the Gators have ratcheted up their backcourt pressure. They've outscored Georgia State 25-6 in this second quarter.
And it shows you what defense can do. It can really turn the table of a game. When you turn up that defense and make defense turn quickly into offense, it's amazing what it can do.
Gators on a 7-0 run.
And a lot of it really has kind of been in a transitional push off of steals, turning it over and pushing the ball in transition, getting rebounds and pushing it back up. Not a lot of straight offensive sets. And, Coach Finley has allowed them to say, hey, how is this game flowing? Sometimes I'm going to allow you just to go ahead and call the play that you see fit. And they're just saying, hey, we're just going to push right now in transition because that's what's open.
The coaching of Kelly Ray Finley, it's been a long journey for her in college basketball as well. Former assistant with Arizona, 4 seasons at Colorado and 3 seasons at Harvard in the Ivy League. And now getting her chance to be the head coach. And this team looks a little bit different from last year in terms of just overall experience, depth. It seems like it's a team that can make some noise in the SEC.
Absolutely.
And they had a chance to iron a lot of things out here in the non-conference. This just game 1. So, Brittany, overall thoughts at Florida? It was kind of head-scratching at times in the first quarter, but this looks like a lot like what we expected from Florida in the second.
Absolutely, especially after seeing the exhibition game. But I think the first quarter, some jitters going, but you can't just blame it on that. They kind of had to slow down a little bit, get their head in the game, and when they turned up their defense, I think that was huge. They stopped turning the ball over, and they took care of the basketball, and then they finished around the paint, and they played together doing it. You've got 2 players in double figures already in Kiki Smith and Lavender Briggs, but also the inside play of Jordan Merritt. She came in and she had a 3-point play early in that run that I think really gave Florida momentum.
But then
Florida turns the ball over. We see a turnover.
Ziak. She is a knockdown three-point shooter.
I cannot leave her open. If she has the ball in her hand, she's going to let it go, and she has a very quick release. You can see right when she caught it, it was ready to go. Locked and loaded.
30 made threes last year, tied for a team best. Jean, bounce for Tolliver, the Florida connection.
And now Georgia State doing what Florida did in that second quarter, getting turnovers and pushing in transition.
Tolliver from Melbourne, Jean from Tampa. A lot of family members in attendance tonight. They've cut it to 10. Briggs, cyclone spin, touch around the rim, it rolls off. And a chance to hold for the final shot as Gene Hill tells his team to slam on the brakes in his fourth season as head coach.
He'd like to see this get under 10.
And now there's only 5, Brittany. Gene with 2. Ziak, space, can't hit. That brings us to a close of the first half. Brittany, Gators to hold on to a double-digit lead.
Now let it slip a little bit to close out the second quarter, but can they respond coming into the third quarter? That'll be the question.
So the Gators a 10-point lead at the break. Once led by 16 points in that first half. At the half, Gators by 10. Halftime show is coming up next on the SEC Network. All the Gator Chomps tonight. That's the Gator volleyball team. So Mary Wise here as well.
Yeah, she's behind them in the stands. But I think what's something really cool that Florida does is they have a Gators supporting Gators. So they do a great job of going to fellow athletes' games as well to support them, as we see Coach Wise cheering on the Gators as well. I think it's really important.
A coaching legend, and I get a chance to work with a broadcasting legend after this, Mark Wise.
Yeah.
So
a relation.
Yes.
Not just in last name.
Gators will have it to start the third quarter. Which team will move to 1-0 to start a new season? Gators will head to NC State, play 3 games in the NIT Invitational, and then Georgia State will take on Tennessee State. There's a lot of states involved. Broughton chased off the line, leaps and leans for 2.
Now look how quick she can get to the hole. I mean, the ball reversal by Florida allows the quick attack on the backside.
Asking Kelly about Zippy Broughton in 2 words, just brings energy.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that's going to be a key for Florida. We saw it in the exhibition game. And you can see it in warm-ups as well. Just the way and the intent that she warms up before games. She gets her teammates involved and, again, brings the energy even before tip.
Henderson pull-up pop. Rebound Smith. Again, the Gators were able to get out and run the floor. 13 fast break points. Take away from Worth. Coast to coast to the rim.
And Georgia State team, they're not going to go away. You know, we saw it in the second quarter. That's a lazy pass. That's a lazy pass that resulted in a turnover, but a tie-up by Kiki Smith. Lavender Briggs just tosses it in, thinking Zippy's going to come back and get it, but it was too long of a pass, which allowed Georgia State to break on it.
We've seen 3 different segments in this game where the Panthers have played well, and that was that first quarter.
Little spurts.
Little spurts towards the end of the first half, and now to start this third quarter.
So for them, they're saying, hey, can we play with some consistency? Because we've had spurts, 2-3 minutes here and there where we've kind of shut down or slowed down Florida, but they need that for an extended period of time.
Briggs open look. Got her own miss, crashing in, Merritt. Bodies to the cup, can't hook it home, got tied up with Deasia Merrill.
And I think if Ladd could do that over, I think she'd want to get a little touch pass down in the post. She kind of held on to it a little bit too long.
Well, for Georgia State, again, they return a lot of their production. 5 players with at least 10 starts. 2 winning seasons over the last 3 years. And the number 2 seed, surprisingly so, in the Eastern Division in the Sun Belt Tournament Championship. We're one and done in that tournament, but went on a late run at the end of the season. Coach Hill said it was just a big accomplishment finishing the season because of all the COVID issues around the country. Foster can't connect. Had the first 2 buckets for Georgia State in this game. Dute 15-footer continues to extend her range.
And if Florida can allow her to step out and pull the defensive away, pull the bigs away, that's going to leave lanes to the basket for Florida's guards.
First bucket since the first quarter for Faith Dute, and we'll have a foul with contact. Jordan Merritt going to the ground. And some extra pushing and shoving between Merritt and Foster.
You can see Zippy, she played defense up, tried to back off a little bit. The foul didn't come on her. The foul came on Jordan Merritt, where she came in on top of the play. You can see Zippy trying to back off, saying, hey, I'm not going to foul. And then Jordan Merritt coming in, trying to get a tie-up, but gets called with the foul.
And then Smith almost fell over Zippy Broughton. His body's everywhere. Broughton comes out along with Faith Dute, and Briggs also takes a seat. Leah Weish, Ricards, and Rimdel enter. Henderson, Foster the rebound, sifting through, high off the window.
And Foster saying, hey, I can get to the rim. She's, again, we talked about her earlier in the broadcast, a quick guard, able to drive to the basket, super athletic, and you can see just gets it right in between Florida's defense. The body foul by the baseline ref making the call.
And of note tonight, Brittany, without Tahia Lyons, who's a Pittsburgh transfer who really plays the point for this team, she's out, so that's a big player to have out.
Absolutely, and Foster coming in and trying to make that difference here with 10 points on the afternoon, 3 of 8 from the field.
Gators have a response, still a double-digit lead. Ricards right to Deasia Merrill. Yatchenko, native of Israel. Back and forth we go. Ricards.
Good decision, yeah, pull it back out.
Weish and one.
Great numbers. Didn't have the numbers, pulled it back outside. How does Kiki Smith end up on the ground? I think going in maybe for the rebound.
Not sure how she hit the deck hard.
I thought it was why she was coming in. Great inside feed, power dribble move, splits the defense. I think maybe just gets, I'm not sure, shoved in on the backside. Great split of the defense. Oh yeah, going in for the rebound and just kind of knocked out by Weish. Great power move by the freshman though, splitting the D. Good to see that Kiki's able to get up and just take a little breather. I think kind of got knocked in the jaw by her own teammate.
A powerful lefty hook from Leah Weish, the lefty.
And Weish stepping to the line, the freshman, big shots in the exhibition game from the free throw line as well. Try to get that, I believe it's her who was able to get them the 100 mark, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weish had 16 points, was 7 of 7 from the floor in that game. Could see some starter minutes as the season moves along and the aggression continues.
Yeah, getting a little feisty.
See the teammates of Jordan Merritt trying to calm her down in this moment.
She going for a jump ball, going to pull it away, and an easy foul call for the referee. Came in and grabbed the arm and saying watch the elbows. So.
Well, when you
Coach Finley's going to get her off for a little bit.
You don't get to play other teams for a long amount of time. You finally get the chance to play another uniform. Maybe you get a little too fired up. Backdoor bounce. Foster got tied up again. We have another tie up underneath. No extra scuffle.
When you bring the ball down low, that allows for the defenders to be able to get a hand on it. And that right now is what Georgia State's doing. You bring it down low and exactly what you're taught to do. Get your hand on the ball when they bring it below the waist. Great block.
Leah Weish, the rejection. A fragmented possession. We have a foul underneath on Leah Weish.
Lots of fouls in the last 30 seconds.
And I think a double we're getting warnings.
Or warning? I heard the whistle, so maybe just cooling off.
Well. College basketball is back.
It is back.
And the fireworks are back. And let's take another look at exactly what happened.
You can see trying to get that post position, trying to fight over the top, but a little too physical. And it's the clap to the face, I think, that kind of...
Yeah, that was Deasia Merrill instigating that.
Yeah, I thought the whistle blew for a double tech. I believe that's what they're calling to see, because you can't... I don't believe you're allowed to clap in someone's face anymore.
Yeah, I think if you're Leah Weish in that moment, it's very hard to not go back.
You can see Coach Kelly Ray Finley pulling her players aside and saying, hey, we've got to come down with it. It's a great teaching moment for her, and that's exactly what she's doing. You can see bringing her to the side and just kind of calming down the freshman and saying, hey, we gotta fix that.
Weish comes out, Worth cuts in, can't finish. Foster can't corral. She went down to the ground, and the Gators push. Poor pass in transit. Phillip with the interception. Sidestep of Briggs. A frantic pace. Who has it? Ricards tracks it down.
Great defense by Rimdahl on the backside. Hands straight up. Doesn't get the foul call. Now Florida's just got to calm it down a little bit in the opposite set. And you can see Coach saying, hey, pull it out. Let's slow it down a little bit.
Rimdahl's been held scoreless. Ricards the step through.
And I think probably after seeing, I'm sure they watched some of the exhibition game, and after that they said, we know she can shoot from outside. We got to know where she is in Rimdahl.
I'm sure the Gators are going to try to get her involved. Only 2 shots.
Like to.
As Moore gets the rejection underneath, the Australian with the swat.
You definitely would think Florida would like to get number 5 involved offensively. But you can see defense, the Aussie saying, nope, not today. Hands up high, gets the block. But Georgia State gets the ball back. And Christina Moore, one of the players for Florida, you can see 5 blocks for Florida. They did not average that many blocks last season. Only 1.8 per game, and already here in the first season opener, 5 blocks. You can see already that they're going to be more aggressive defensively, I think.
Yeah, they were last, dead last in the SEC in blocks per game. 307th nationally. Lead balloon to 15, largest 17 for the Gators. Janae Dublin banks it in.
You call the bank from outside? She let that go right off the backboard and in. Not particularly great shooting from the three-point line. 2 of 10 for Georgia State and 2 of 12 for Florida.
Dublin, another one of those transfers, an Iona transfer, led the team in blocks, a rim protector for Jean Hill. Not somebody you think of that will shoot many threes. Last year, Brittany took 9, missed all of them.
I mean, I guess you can take it again. We got a little blood on the floor, I think, from the Georgia State players. So Florida going to use this, and Georgia State has a little timeout, which is probably a good little break for Florida. They got to slow it down, I think. They want to get the ball out in transition, but get some defensive stops and then push.
Kind of par for the course for the game, and now
right now blood on the court, get it taped up, get right back out there.
Ashley Foster getting just underneath that right knee taped up. Transfer from Western Carolina.
You see Florida's managers getting in there and cleaning the floor right up.
Sometimes a thankless job.
Oh, absolutely, but man, you couldn't do it without your managers.
How about Ashley Foster in double figures tonight? 10 points. Her season high last year was 17 against North Carolina and A&T. Averaged about 6 per game last season.
But you can see with 17 points, she has the ability to score the basketball. Ooh, it's going to be a foul too.
Shielding off Tollivert, got tripped up for the foul. That's the second on Kyla Tollivert, 3rd team foul.
Team third.
You can see
still going back and forth. Alexis
Bell
just standing guard. Bounce inside Moore. Fights one up, doesn't go. That bench was getting set to erupt.
Yeah, it was. Great move. Good positioning down low and splits the double before it comes. That was key for Christina Moore. Didn't allow the double to come to try to fight through it. She kind of split it right before, so that's why she got that foul, but the foul will be on the floor.
I think it's moments like this where the leadership of Kiki Smith stands out when tempers are a little bit high.
You can see right away she got in the face of Lavender Briggs and said, hey, we got to calm down as Georgia State gets a steal and gets it in transition.
Ashley Foster read that pass like a safety in football, went back the other way to trim it to 10. Briggs to bring it to 13.
But who's in there and in the mix? So Florida gets it back because their point guard, Kiki Smith, gets in there. She dishes it off to Lavender Briggs. Knows Lav is going to shoot the ball for 3. And so she goes in there, positions it in to be able to push the Georgia State player out of position to get the tip on the ball. So Florida gets it.
Meanwhile, Briggs will come out. Henderson comes out for Georgia State.
Oh, Briggs? Oh, no, Weish. Sorry, I thought Briggs had 4 fouls. Right, Weish for Florida has 4 fouls.
Rimdahl still scoreless, gives it up for Duke. Georgia State gets a stop. Chance to cut it to single figures past the midway mark here in the third.
Georgia State does a really good job of positioning themselves down low. They really make a wide base and leave the room right there for the guards to drive, but they really try to get that ball inside. Florida said not in that possession.
Rimdahl passes up the 3. Give ball for Duke. Shoulders in for 2, plus the whistle.
And that's the unselfish play that Florida's playing with. Rimdahl could easily have shot that ball, but she draws the defense to her because she's such a great shooter. The help pass to come, dumps it off to her post player for a potential 3-point play.
So Faith Duke nearing double figures with 8. Tempers have been flaring in this game. Faith Duke providing the energy with the left hand.
Please welcome to the floor.
Got the Dazzlers back here inside Exact Tech Arena as the Gators enjoy a 12-point lead past the midway mark of the third quarter. Well, Brittany, the start of a new season, the excitement is high, and for volleyball, it's coming towards the end of their season. Hope to make a postseason run for Mary Wise and that crew, but just excited to have everybody back here at Exact Tech Arena this year.
Absolutely. It's always good to see live basketball, bringing the fans in, and it just makes such a difference between, I think, this year, this time last year, and now.
Faith Duke hit a bucket prior to the official timeout, so completes a 3-point play, and the Gators have ballooned it up to 13. Faith Duke now with 9 points. Alexis Bell backing in on Duke with the left hand. Nice finish.
That's a great drive. Alexa Duke, she has at the top of the key. They like to enter it in at that free throw line area and then let the post player kind of decide what they want to do. They'll run some guards off of it, sometimes in an Xing fashion as Faith Duke goes down. She was limping off after the 3-point play. Played the defensive segment and then got over half court and kind of went down.
You see athletic trainer John Michelini right now looking at Faith, who's visibly upset as they look just underneath that right knee. Faith, somebody who's developed so much in her time here, a junior. Made 19 starts last year, was consistent starter as the center for Florida last year, averaged about 6 points per game, and somebody in the SEC they're going to need in terms of on the glass.
And Faith Duke, someone who got better, I think, as the season went on. Each and every game, it's good to see her, able to get up and step off as they're going to check her out and get some great treatment. As you can see, 9 points tonight, 4 of 6 from the field, shooting really well.
An efficient night. Faith Duke had 4 games in double figures last year. He's trying to go 1 for 1 this year. You can see in considerable pain walking back to the tunnel. Floor Tonders will check in her absence. Rimdahl passes up the 3. Skip gives Smith all alone, high archer.
And that was all alone because Rimdahl drew 2 defenders at the 3-point line. She caught the ball on the 3-point line and 2 Georgia State players started running at her.
I think when Kelly Ray Finley looks at the tape, though, I think they'll see Alberta Rimdahl's had some open looks that she's passed up. Maybe a bit tentative in her first collegiate game. Bell rumbling through, got fouled.
And Bell aggressive right now for Georgia State from that area. She's looking to attack. And she has the ability to attack. She's a player who, she led her team in the exhibition game with 8 points scoring. She's an undersized post, but she works really hard. You've seen it in this game, and you've seen it in the last 2 possessions that Georgia State's had.
Bell, a JUCO transfer, second year within the program. Played her JUCO hoops at Southern Union State in Alabama, 2 seasons there. Best season was her sophomore year, about 15.5 and 10 rebounds a game.
Good numbers.
Chance to come back to her home state, a Carrollton, Georgia native. Moore drives in with contact to block.
Again, Bell trying to come in, get that charge call, but I believe again in that charge circle. Great read. Christina Moore didn't have the open three. Nice quick reversal. I mean, I'm really impressed with the way that Florida reverses the ball and how quick they do it. It really allows them to get open. The drive in, heels in. Yeah, that's a clear block.
For the Gators, number 14, Christina Moore. She'll shoot 2 shots.
So Christina Moore going to the line, shot at a team best 86% last year. And I didn't mean to do that to Christina, but that's the broadcaster's jinx that she misses the first.
Can't do it right when she's shooting. Come on, Kyle.
Yeah. Different vantage point for her this year. First game of this season coming off the bench. 74 career games and 72 starts. So perhaps an energy lift off the bench this year. And what Kelly Rae Finley said, they will rotate their starting 5, although it's been the same over the first 2 games, including the exhibition. Janae Dublin, the whirling dervish to the rim. Tie up with Merritt. Do we have another scuffle?
No, letting it go, handing it back to the ref. Great move to the basket for Georgia State. Nice spin move by Dublin, but Florida again able to get their hands on a jump ball.
Now Georgia State increasing their backcourt pressure with no Kiki Smith on the floor, the Gators floor general. Smith is on the floor. Smith, the high teardrop well off the mark. It's Briggs right now who is not returned, and as I say that, Kelly Rae Finley sends her to the scorer's table as Foster has had an outstanding night.
Yes, she has. Slicing to the rim for Georgia State. She's got 12 points for them, 4 of 10 from the field.
Ricard slings it up. She has another 3.
And Ricard with a timely 3. 2 of 2 from the field right now from the 3-point line. She's been a great answer when they've needed it from the 3-point line.
2 of the 4 made trays from number 15. It's the Foster show again.
And I think that's definitely a number that Florida would like to see a little bit higher from behind the arc. Just 4 of 15 right now.
That's the 3rd on Nina Ricard. Some foul trouble. Leah Weish has 4 personal fouls. She's remained on the bench since.
So right now, Florida going with a smaller lineup, taking Christina Moore out. A smaller line in the sense that Lavender Briggs is 6 foot, but you're having 1 post right now and really 4 guards. You're gonna have a quick lineup right now, and all of which can dribble the ball, bring the ball up the floor.
Foster, who had that cut underneath her right knee. See, that's taped up. Get another look at it. What a debut for her to a new campaign. Now
Absolutely.
16 points.
Oh, you talked about Coach Hill looking for someone to step up, and Foster saying, hey, I want to be that player who can step up for you. I want to be the go-to player on this team.
Foster, 1 away from tying a career high. Gets a short spell on the bench.
Oh,
Rimdill turns the corner.
just the ability, the change of speed and change of direction in that play.
First points of the night for Alberta Rimdill. Usually somebody who knocks it down from deep.
Florida switching defensively, and you're able to do that when you're playing with the 4 guards in the lineup that you have, but Georgia State gets just an inch and is able to hit that 3.
Taylor Henderson, a big made tray. Georgia State sticking around. Can they get enough stops? Merritt fouled upon entry.
Trying to get the continuation, but not in the NBA right now.
Yeah, it's a level above.
On this last possession, you can see Rimdill, the ability to just slice right in, change direction, slows down, then speeds up right in with contact, finishes with the right hand on that left side. Very sneaky. But she's just so smooth, Kyle. It's the way that she gets it. Looks one direction, but is able to change and go the opposite. right through the defense. She's a fun player to watch, and I think it's gonna be fun to see what she does for this Florida program while she's here.
Yeah, Kelly had echoed, yeah, she's a great three-point shooter, but that's not all that she is, and we've seen that tonight. Good on-ball defender, good driver to the rim. Right now you have essentially 2 point guards on the floor with Smith and Rimdahl. And Ricards has seen some time at the point as well. Hannah Sadler. Old Dominion transfer. Briggs thought about it. Briggs, this time can't hit. Merritt.
Good fight inside by Jordan Merritt. That's a short shot by Lavender Briggs. You see when it went off her hand, it was going to fall short, and her teammate and Jordan Merritt knew that. Goes in there, fights, keeps the ball high, and they're going to give her a shooting foul. Or they're in 5 fouls. So either way, Florida will be shooting.
Gators shooting the rest of the way in the final 52 seconds. Merritt, part of back-to-back 5-star recruits to come to this program. That all started with Lavender Briggs, then Merritt.
And that's kind of what it takes. You get one, you get another one, and then that's how you try to bring them in.
Highest ranked recruit for Florida since 2013, and there you see Lavender Briggs, who many schools were after in her high school recruitment. Had over 1,900 points at Provo High School, Provo, Utah.
And she's shown why so many people wanted her. She averaged 19.5 points last year, nearly 20 points per game, has scored 40 in games, over 40 in a game, and so, she really can do it all offensively.
Henderson brings it across the floor. Henderson met by the taller Toners, had the angle, and Sadler will get 2.
And Sadler staying with it on that opposite side. She gets it off the rebound, puts it back up strong.
She's one of those players that utilized that phrase last year that Georgia State had championed, chop wood and carry water, and it comes from a book by Joshua Metcalf. This is a team that read a lot of books last year to try and unify as a team. And that's been their phrase from last year and this year, chop wood and carry water.
And off the mark, Rimdahl tries to pull it in, but unable to.
Here's Gene Hill in his 4th season. Longtime assistant at NC State. That's where he built a lot of his connections in the transfer portal, where he recruited a lot of these players coming out of high school that he's been able to get, Power 5 transfers because of that connection at his time at NC State.
And it just goes to show you the connection that basketball has. Even if you're being recruited by one team, you never know where they might move to and where you might find yourself, but just how broad it really is.
Gatchenko couldn't connect with Sadler underneath. Gators can hold for the final shot here in the 3rd. Briggs gives it up, Rimdahl. Smith calls for the screen with 8. And a foul is called. Free throws coming with 6.8 to go.
And Rimdahl again, she could have shot that easily, but knew better for her team that they run the shot clock down some. Because they had that last shot. She could have let it fly, but they keep it around, and now Kiki Smith at the foul line.
Smith eclipsed 1,000 career points last year, was a 26th Gator to accomplish that feat in their career. And the jump in production throughout the years, at least since she's gotten to Florida, 7.1 points to 11.9 to 18.8. Been a giant leap last year. And she hits both.
That's what you like to see in a program. Developing players and making them better. And that's what they've done with Kiki Smith is you come in 7 to 11 to 18. And, that's not just work during the season. That's work in the off season. You got to put the work in the off season to see the production during the season.
Final 4 seconds. Henderson will heave one up. Oh, missed everything. Look out, marketing table.
Eyes up, boys, eyes up.
Gators still in command, a 15-point lead through 3 quarters. Put up 25 points in that frame. Florida trying to secure a home win to start a new year. See Kelly Ray Finley trying to pick up. It will be her second win as interim head coach. I think last year had a win against Ole Miss as Tanaya Worth right out of the timeout. That seems to be where Georgia State has excelled in this game.
They really have.
12.
They really have. Out of timeouts, they've responded really well. They came out in the second quarter and went on. That's when they went on their little run to end the second quarter. Was out of a timeout. Florida's got to be careful here in the fourth quarter.
Can the Gators finish out the final 10 minutes?
And I think that's what it's going to be about. How are you going to finish? You got to finish as strong as you started. And if you're Florida, you want to finish as strong as you started in the second quarter, not the first.
Backdoor bounce, just a tad behind Henderson, plus a foul. All of a sudden, a chance to cut this to 9.
Florida would like to keep that 10-point cushion. You don't want it to sneak away into single digits. And Georgia State, they're fighters. They're not going to go away.
And it was a pass that was a bit behind Henderson, had to kind of readjust her body to catch it in traffic. Tonders tracks it down. Gators in need of an early response to start this fourth. A 5-0 spurt to begin the quarter. Manu. Smith soaring high for a ferocious rebound.
And we still see a lineup that's putting Lavender Briggs at that 4 position, and a great take, little give and go down to Kiki Smith. Lavender Briggs staying in that elbow position.
How about the line for Smith tonight? 18 points, 6 boards, and 3 assists. Just another night at the office for Kiki Smith.
That's the leadership and the veteran that you get in Kiki Smith. It's not her first rodeo. She's coming in here. She's got a lot of experience, and she's letting it shine here tonight.
Also 2 steals as well on that stat sheet for Kiki Smith. Got better as the season went along last year, especially in SEC play as the competition stiffened. Rimdal had space, kicks it out for Briggs. Now isolation for Briggs. Pull up pop.
A little choppy in that offensive segment for Florida that series. Like to see it smooth, get a little bit smoother.
Has been able to cut it to 9, but not get much closer here in the second half.
Foster trying to fight to get that rebound. Getting in the mix. You can see having a great night tonight.
Substitution for the Panthers, number 1, Janae Rimdal.
The nice thing for Florida is that they've had an answer to the runs that Georgia State's put on in the second half in particular. And that's what you want from your team. You want answers to those runs.
That's what Kelly Ray Finley's team has had tonight.
Because basketball, it's a game of runs. It's going to happen. Each team's going to go on one. It's how are your players and your team going to respond when a run and they're met some difficulty in the game.
It's hard to simulate a lot of that in practice completely. The Olivere got the roll.
What a move around the basket, able to post up. And Manu, she's a player that you can run at the 3 or 4 position. She's kind of that tricky position where you can have her come in, play a little bit of the 3, but then be able to post up bigger 3s when she's playing that guard position. And coming in, great move, great body control, reads the defense, sitting on her left shoulder, so she rolls over to her right to finish in the middle of the paint before the double team can come.
Little drop, step, spin deep into the bag of tricks for Manu. Talented musician, Brittany. I don't know if you know this, but she is a great guitarist.
She also plays the piano.
Plays the piano
I thought she played the piano as well.
Off the foot of Alexis Bell.
Right now, if you're Florida, you'd like to see one of those runs that you had in the second quarter here in the fourth to finish it out.
A Georgia State team that was the 2nd seed in the Sun Belt Conference tournament last year. Surprised many towards the end of the season. Trying to come away with an upset win on the road right now, down 15. Rimdal passes it up again, slithers through, lost it. And again, Brittany, I think when you watch back the tape,
it's going to be a replay, and it's going to be one of those, hey, we want you to shoot the ball. She's got a quick release, quick catch and shoot. Don't overthink it. She didn't overthink it in the exhibition game at all. She just let it fly.
She's one of those players where she can get the ball in the parking lot. You still want her to shoot it.
They're going to call a body check foul. A little too aggressive, but I like it. I like the way that she's playing defense, moving her feet really well, keeping her hands up high. She's just going to be a great player for Florida.
First ever signee from Denmark. Has been competing in the national system for Denmark since she was 15 years old.
And that's just something really different. If America doesn't really have the systems that they have overseas to be able to play the way that they are, it's not a high school necessarily that you're playing for. So she's had a lot of experience, again, just playing with older players.
Jean cuts it to 13. She has 6 tonight with her family and friends in attendance. One of 2 Florida natives, a roster dominant of Georgia natives, 8 total players from the state of Georgia. And a travel's called on Briggs.
Moving that off foot before putting the ball down to Reed in that horn situation.
And it was the turnover bug that hurt Florida early. They had 9 in the first quarter, 20 now for the game.
Yeah, that's something they're definitely going to want to clean up for sure in practice. After watching some film, where are the ways that we can eliminate some of those turnovers? Because in close games, they can be very costly.
Jean calls for the clear out. The step back did not graze iron. Out of bounds.
But the fade felt good.
That's a player that you know is feeling confident.
Yeah, exactly. The fadeaway, almost 3.
No extra jab step, step back. That's Brittany Davis back in the day.
Then you wipe your hands. Oh, it's sweaty.
What was that?
Sweaty. And you see Florida a little bit different of an offense. We get to see a little bit of the half-court offense sets that they have. They've really been up the floor, pushing the ball in transition here, slowing it down in the 4th. A great block on the backside.
Tanaya Worth. All the way to the rim.
Something.
Almost a tie-up with Briggs.
And I thought it was going to be a travel, but not a travel. Getting it, you can see coming in, getting a hand on the ball, feet from behind, getting the turnover. Great way to get back if you're Florida and Lavender Briggs. Not just allowing and conceding to, hey, it's a turnover, it's a block, she's going to get a layup, but gets back defensively. That's what you like to see as a coach.
Gene Hill going back to his bench. We're in the final 6 minutes. Smith buries it.
With confidence, buries it. She could add an extra pass to Lavender Briggs in the corner, but Kiki just going ahead and say, hey, I'm going to take it. And what a night. 21 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line.
Yeah, Briggs was waiting for it in the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a conversation later say, I know you saw me in the corner.
That's one of those, you better hit it. But they're 2 players who just love each other. They love playing together. They're friends off the court as well and hang out a lot. So I mean, they're there for each other's success, as is everybody on the Florida roster.
Smith and Briggs last year averaged a combined 38.5 points per game, most of any duo in the SEC, which we highlighted in the Open. Henderson fades and fires. And Panthers again running out of time.
I was going to say, here's a stretch for Georgia State where they're going to have to, as Rimdal gets one off but can't get it to fall. Lavender Briggs on the backside for the putback. It's the offensive board and the putback. We're talking about Georgia State. You know, they're going to have to get some quick possessions here. You can see in transition trying to get the ball up as fast as they can, but Florida doing a good job of getting back defensively and then getting stops and getting the rebound.
Smith, the fend off, finding a trailing Merritt. It's now 20, a game best lead.
And Jordan Merritt, again, running the middle of the floor, and the guards rewarding her. You got to reward your bigs when they run the floor like that.
It's been the Foster show, a career high. Now for Ashley Foster with 19 points.
Wow, great showing for her.
Gators running away with it here in the fourth quarter. It's cut at 1 point to 9. Here we'll have an offensive foul on Kiki Smith, and I think that's something on tape a lot of SEC teams have seen from Kiki. We'll step aside. Gators still in the driver's seat here on opening night, thanks to number 1, Kiki Smith, who gives off for Merritt. Gators up 17 as we hit the final minutes of this one. Opening night of college hoops around the country, and of course a lot more basketball to come. Brittany, and for the Gators, they ramp up again. Friday they play 3 games in the WNIT Invitational at North Carolina State. That'll be a tough test, of course, for all 3 games, but on the 14th against NC State.
Yeah, NC State looking really good this year. Coming out strong. They got a big game tonight versus South Carolina. But the 3 away, I think that's going to say a lot, about your team. How do you step away on the road and respond to, the travel for the freshmen that have come in, and, just a new environment of everybody on the team. And on the road, it's a little different. So you get to learn a lot early on, especially having 3 in a span of like 4 days.
They'll play back-to-back on Sunday and Monday. And that Monday game will be after they play NC State, a wraparound game against Wofford. Georgia State struggling to get it in. Tonight, for the Panthers, Brittany, it's been the Ashley Foster show. 19 points on 6 of 13 shooting. Try to feed the post. I believe it's a kickball. Or is this a foul on Christina Moore? It will be a foul. And that's the Gators' 5th team foul, so the Panthers will shoot the rest of the way. And there is the look at what Ashley Foster has done tonight, a career high 19 points on 6 of 13 shooting. She has a lot to smile about.
Yes, she does, and she's trying to do it for her team, while her team trying to fight back in this game, but down right now. She's played really, really well, and she's a player, again, an active defender, quick guard. She showcased how she can score from the 3-point line. She's knocked one down, and also just drives the basket, getting around. You can see she plays that low position at the guard position on the foul line. So that means she's also looking to rebound the basketball.
About a 14-point jump from what her average was at the end of last season.
She's leading the team in rebounds, and she got 6.
Gators a chance to churn some clock. Inside 4 to go. Gators cleared out for Merritt. Regains Smith. What we like to call, Brittany, a roof-scraping 3, and Kiki Smith has some of the more high-arcing 3s you'll see.
And again, you see Christina Moore doing things that won't get in the stat sheet. She boxes her player out and puts it on her hip and makes her hit the ball out of bounds. So Florida gets it back. It's a heads-up move. That's a hand check on the backside. I didn't know if they were going to call a moving screen. They called a couple of those in the exhibition game, and Florida's done a good job of responding to that and not getting them called. But you see Kiki Smith, 21 points, 7 of 12 from the field, and then she throws in, hey, I'm going to go ahead and get 6 rebounds and throw in there 4 assists as well.
2 steals as well in 31 minutes. Dynamic duo of Smith and Briggs have been exactly that tonight. Smith again will head back to the line where she's had 7 attempts from the free throw line. Is it 5 of them? Gators has a team, Brittany, 22 free throw attempts. This is a team that will get to the foul line just in how the nature of their 2 stars play.
And just how the offense runs for them. They're pushing the ball in transition. People getting back are going to be late getting back and fouling you, but also just in the offensive sets. It's about getting the ball to the foul line, reading off of that, and driving to the basket. Lots of drives in for them, but you got to be able to hit the free throws. You got to come to the line, knock them down. And again, missing the second.
And Smith will be thinking about those later. These perfectionist type players, Kiki Smith. Gators only 54% from the foul line tonight, 24 attempts. So they've left a lot out there. Merrill Henderson chased off the line by Rimdahl. That rims out. 2 shots here for Taylor Henderson. Led the team in assists last year, just under 3 per game. Second on the team in scoring. For the guard out of Birmingham, Alabama. Taylor Henderson last year had a 31-point game against FIU. Was the most for a Panther since 2007 in a single game. You ever dropped a 30-piece on anybody, Brittany? That's what the kids say, right?
A 30-piece? 29 at Tennessee.
29. Oh, just at Tennessee?
Yeah. So that she gets the extra one. I missed a free throw. I was upset about it.
That was one of the few victories for the Gators in Thompson Bowling.
It was. That was a fun one.
One of the best games of Brittany Davis's career was beating the Pat Summitt-led Tennessee Volunteers in Thompson Bowling in front of a sold-out crowd. Now you're stuck with me.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Briggs got hit.
Lots of fouls here in the fourth quarter, Kyle. Down the stretch. It's like there've been a lot being called. Or a lot of, maybe not fouls necessarily, but also just whistles blown and stoppage of play. And been great flow back and forth.
Yeah, we've lost the pace to this game. Total of 47
fouls.
That's
a lot. That's a lot of fouls. The pace has slowed down significantly.
Kristen Bell, Kylie Galloway, Polani, Spurlock, Welsh are officials tonight. So if you're a fan of those 3, you've gotten your money's worth.
Absolutely. And Florida able to knock down 2 free throws.
I think I brought up this story before. My father's an official, so I'm always pro-official. As Gene.
Does he do anything besides basketball? Does he officially?
No, he doesn't ref anymore.
Oh.
I think they boot him out of the league.
Yeah. Did he coach you in your little league though? That's the question.
Did in football.
Oh, there you go.
I was actually a football player, if you can believe that. Never good enough to play at this level, so here I am with a microphone.
Oh, there you go. Was it flag, tackle?
No, this was tackle football. I didn't play flag football, no. This was full tackle football. One of the best wide receivers, tight end combinations you'd ever see.
In that powder puff league?
Something like that.
Did you play in high school for real though?
I did.
You did? That's awesome.
Yeah, wasn't very good.
Hey, I'm sure you were great.
Now that we have my high school career summed up, 14-point game. No shock here. Smith running the show.
Nice crossover.
Pass in a crowded paint. Merritt the back in with contact and add another foul to that tally.
And that's a lot of dribbles in the post. So you got to come out. You got to come out with something. You got to get to the foul line or get a finish. Because when you dribble that much, you're inviting those guards to come down. Good move down low. Merritt able to get to the foul line.
Gators free throws 27 and 28.
Got a famous Gator to our left though.
That's
Lee
right.
Humphrey.
We got Lee Humphrey here.
That man can shoot the ball.
Lee for 3.
Yes.
Here doing the Gator Radio tonight, part of a double header. The men will take on Elon around 8 o'clock. You can watch that game on the SEC Network Plus as well. We'll have that coming up right at 8 o'clock.
Should be an exciting game. It's always nice to get a little double header action and letting everybody come in and see the women's team play a little bit before the men hit it off.
Play Elon out of the Colonial Athletic Association. It's a good team last year, went to their conference tournament championship game. What was a surprise run as the 8 seed. Hook shot goes down for Alyssa Phillip. Still a pulse here for the Panthers in the final 2. Gators have not had a field goal over the last 3 minutes.
It just got kind of quiet offensively for Florida. And a team who really likes, I think, push the ball in transition. They've had to slow it down to try to run some clock. But that's the way you can turn the tide. It's just give it to Kiki, who then you see a steal by Ricards on the inbounds. Nina, active hands to get a steal and a putback, and again, another foul.
Chance for 4 quick points. There's Elon in their tunnel.
Everybody excited for the basketball debuts.
Had a 10-9
Season openers.
campaign last year under Mike Schrage in his 3rd season. A lot of talent coming back, so that should be a fun one coming up at 8 o'clock. And a chance for a lot of Gator fans to see the new look Gators. Much different team than last year. 3 returning starters, but a lot of new transfers in the mix. Kyla Tollivert in front of friends and family here in Florida.
Nice finish on the left-hand side.
Averaged 17 a game at Palm Bay High School. Native of Melbourne. Merritt rolling through, and the whistle echoes here throughout the Exactech Arena. That's just how the Gators are playing their offense right now. They are attacking the rim. They're not settling.
That's her 3rd.
And that's what you like to see, you know, closing it out, not looking to just be passive, but they're looking to get to the rim. They're looking to attack, because you don't want to practice bad habits. Just because it's late in the game, you don't want to practice those bad habits. You want to practice getting to the rim, getting to the foul line, finishing strong. You saw Nina Ricards with that steal. You don't just want to let the ball come and play if you're right there.
Merritt trying to put a cap on her performance tonight in double figures for the 5th time in her career. And nearing a career high that she had gotten late in the year against Charlotte in the NIT. Right now, Merritt with 15 points, her career high 17, but that's where it looks like it's going to end as she'll come out along with Kiki Smith. Kelly Rae Finley empties the bench.
We got 3 players for Florida in double figures tonight. A good showing, I think, coming out. It was a little bit, you know, hard in the first quarter, but then coming out in the second and really putting it on Georgia State and able to get a lead and keep it. I think that's key. Never let it go. Once they got it to about 10, snuck in. Georgia State tried to come in and make it, you know, 6-7, but Florida was again able to extend it out. Good response.
Gators overall, I'm sure Kelly Rae Finley will have a lot to evaluate in this tape in terms of the negative, but a lot of positive tonight. And that starts with their stars, Kiki Smith and Lavender Briggs. 23 and 16 respectively.
Woo! Oh, the pass.
Wraparound feed from Nyla Jean to Alyssa Phillip.
That was a great pass. Good awareness. Ooh.
The Olivete with a nice behind the back dribble. How about a second?
And through the legs, bind back through the legs. Getting some crowd involvement.
Bryn Farrell long 2. Shot clock's turned off. Gators getting off to a good start here to a new season under Kelly Rae Finley.
I see. Coach, I think, going to be excited with the win here today, but also, like you talked about, some things to work on and improve. But just to be able to get out there the first time out, season opener, get that one done with and move on from there and then take it to the road. But excited to see what her players have.
We'll have a 3-game stretch in Raleigh, North Carolina. As a foul is called on Alberta Rimdol with 7.9 to go.
I mean, why not?
And that's the 5th on Rimdol, so she's fouled out. Gator debut for Rimdol, just 2 points, 0 for 3 from 3.
I don't know how often that'll be, or she's 0 of 3 from the 3-point line.
We talk to everybody around this program.
No,
it will not be often.
No. I mean, if you have the luxury of just watching her in practice, she does not miss much. Even when she's out before the game shooting shots, it does not just, it doesn't just hit the rim, it just goes straight through the net. Barely touches the rim.
Here's some window dressing for Georgia State. Sippy Broughton holds. And this game will come to an end. Florida Gators, a 1-0 start for Kelly Rae Finley A 14-point victory, final score of 84-70 as the Gators win their opener here tonight.